far. My name is Aaron. This is Anneesa. This is attempt number 4 to try to make us live today, and it's been totally messed up. So if you're wondering what happened and you were watching earlier, some technical difficulties, but we're with you now. Just got to get set up here, and then we will get at her. If I can find where we're supposed to be.
All right. Hopefully people come back and watch us again. And we will be busy making a video for our Boosty members after we're done here.
If you're a Boosty better, I'm sorry. Looks better now. Yes, I don't know what happened there. Now, why do I not have it here yet? I cannot see it. 30 watching. This must be it. You're back. Yes, hello. What's up?
Nothing. We're good.
We're good?
We're good.
Looks better now. Love your family. From Tanzania. Now, there's a place I'd like to go visit. And there's a story involved in that. There's always a story.
There's always a story. All right. We are here.
Many, many years ago, we attended the church. And in that church, there was 2 people. Probably tell you their names, but it doesn't really matter their names. They're nice people.
There's 2?
Oh, there's lots of people. Yeah, there's only 2. No, there's lots of people there, but 2 people in particular, a very nice young couple that ended up going to Tanzania. And she worked there, something to do with the government, accounting of some kind. And he went along. Obviously, he looked after the kids, and then he also got involved in some agriculture, tried to help the locals. I forget what kind of agriculture it was. It was interesting as well. Hey?
Wasn't it something to do with water?
Well, irrigating probably. I almost want to say, I can't remember what crop it was. I want to say it was cotton, but I can't think that's right. In any case, doesn't matter what the crop was, but they told us a bunch about Tanzania, and it sounded like a wonderful place. And I thought, man, that'd be fun to visit sometime. Anyways, we are on now after many difficulties, and hopefully it works good. Hopefully the sound is good as well. Get smart. Countryside Acres love from Northeast Oklahoma. I'm a big fan. I went to the Tri-State Monument you went to in your motorhome at Downstream Casino and ate at Joplin, Fred and Red's in honor of your family. Well, thank you very much.
Cool.
The Tri-State Monument, I remember. The Downstream Casino,
any of this.
Don't.
The casino we were accidentally at, maybe.
Oh, where's that where we traded money?
I think so, maybe. We went across the bridge. Remember, we had to pay a fortune and then across the bridge. Maybe, I don't know.
And then Joplin, I'm just thinking that one place we got out of the motorhome in the rain and we scooted into this restaurant. We stopped at a lot of places.
It was like a really
If you're not aware, we traveled the States for 3 months prior to leaving Canada and going this direction. So some great travel videos. If you're interested in checking those out, go back. We've got lots of old videos. We've actually been on YouTube for about 6 years, I think. So there's a lot of old videos that haven't actually got a lot of views. I think a lot of them are very good and might give you a deeper understanding of our family if you're interested. Obviously, it also supports us because the more views we get, the better it is for our family. The more algorithms we can get. Fred and Red's. No, I don't recall that one. Looks yummy though. I wouldn't mind eating that spaghetti right there. That looks good. I don't know. We went to a lot of places, so I'm not sure. What's up? You going to bed? Good night. You might want to wash that hand. It looks kind of dirty.
Let's wash up a little bit
before you crawl into bed.
And put a towel or a wet.
Somebody asked earlier, what time do kids go to bed? Well, it varies. The youngest one's usually around 7:30, and then it kind of goes up from there. Sean in Alaska. Hey, this is a nice surprise. Hello, you two. Sean, I would like to have you on the channel. We would like to one day do a live with you, Sean.
Yeah, or we can do edited talk on our other channel.
We can do that too. Whatever you're interested in, Sean. I think you still know how to get a hold of us. Get a hold of her anyway.
Yeah, he did say that the winter is better time because the leaves are off the trees. But hey, you just lost a whole bunch of trees in your backyard. Maybe it's a better time.
Yeah, maybe your internet's better now. Boom, 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 boom. Dean, you're back. Skip, I can hear and see you. Awesome. Ava, love you or your family. Love from Tanzania. Sergey, hello. Skip, you look great now. Oh, thank you very much. We've been working on that. Yeah. Seryoga, hello. Jane, 103.4 is Christian radio in Russia, I believe.
I will write that down. Thank you. I don't know whether it's true or not, but we will write it
Ava
down.
Barbara, welcome to Africa. Yeah, I'd love to go. I really would. I want to check it out. I want to go on safaris. I want to do a lot of stuff. My Oma, that would be my grandmother. So on my father's side, his mother, after Grandpa died, she did some traveling. So I don't know how old I would have been, but I know she went to South Africa. She's got family down there. I guess I do too.
Well,
Then.
in her 60s.
Yeah, she was old. I know that. And anyway, so I remember seeing pictures from that. Of course, we've all seen documentaries and things. I like watching nature documentaries as well. Yeah, there's a lot of beauty in Africa, and it's huge. It's deceptive because on the map it doesn't look that big, but it's actually massive. The way the maps are done, in order to take a round map and form it into a square, Africa actually shrinks, and North America and Russia and Europe all get much bigger. And since most of the world is actually in the northern hemisphere, it makes all of that look much bigger than it is. It's very interesting. Google that sometime. But Africa is huge. Russia also happens to have very good relations with most African countries, so I definitely could see it in the future sometime. Unfortunately, it costs so much to travel, and so we're not able to do that. Alexander, hello, nice to see you. C-Dot buffering. Still? Doesn't look like it on our screen.
No, it's good now.
Ava, permaculture. Permaculture is a good thing. Jane Jones, no Christian radio in Nizhny Novgorod is 89.2. You got to write 89. Oh, you wrote that one down right too? Хорошо. C-Dot sounds good. Sound and picture quality. Good. So beautiful. Couple. Thank you very much. That's an interesting name. Myris Grisons. Hi from England. Immigrant. Is from Latvia, like your farm and your family. C-Dot, hi Sean. Eric Bedard. Hey Eric. Oh, I just bumped my mic. Probably noisy for you all. Eric, I got some tax questions for you. Good afternoon. Nice to see you.
Isn't he retired?
I don't know. Are you fully retired now, Eric, or are you still with us? Good afternoon. Nice to see you live from New Liskeard, Ontario, Canada. I got fond memories of that too. I was just saying on the other live that Saskatchewan. We've got some memories. Yeah, we got ducks visiting us, peeking through the window. Ducks and geese looking through the window. Anyway.
It's like, oh, look, a bird.
Yeah, I get distracted easy. I do. Skip, it's 8:30 p.m. their time now. Greetings from Siberia, from Anton. Some gardening and stuff. Howdy from Texas. Nikita, hello. Last time saying just after stream, Arend says that he is from Friesland. Actually, Rorik from Dorstadt, who is considered the one from whom the Russian state originated, was from Friesland. I did read that comment, and then I think somebody argued with you on that or something. Can't remember now. But yeah, there's a lot of Dutch, German, Norwegian, Viking, I guess, Norseman history here in Russia, early Russian, which is also why, I mean, the people look the same. You walk around Nizhny Novgorod, it just looks like a whole whack of Dutchmen running around here. So we're all one people, really. Different traditions, I guess. Even there, though, you look at some of the traditional clothing. We've said that before, right? Traveling around a little bit, and you look at the traditional clothing that people in Copenhagen wore, people in Russia wore, people in the Netherlands wore. There's a lot of similarities to, they have their own, I don't know if you want to call it tribal colors or whatever.
Yeah, they're all.
But their own pattern. Even within the Netherlands, one part or another, they dress slightly different, but more or less similar outfits. I really enjoyed the documentary. Yeah, did you guys see it? What's your thoughts on that? It came out finally. So we did, 3 things this month? We got one coming up with The Real Reporter. It's not out yet. That will be a nice one too. I think you guys will like that. We did this one with, and I never know how to say their channel name. We and They. Somebody write it in the comments. You know who it is. Well, in English, it translates as We and They. But
I can do it.
Whatever it is. That one's out now. I think it turned out pretty good as well. I'm happy with it. And you're happy with it. Worked out okay. And the other one was with Russia 24, I think. That one's a little harder to find, and we actually had it translated and put it on our Countryside Corner page. So if you haven't seen it, you can see it there. Still 198,000. It's just hilarious. I know it's unfair, actually. It's not fair that they are able to do that, but I mean, they own the platform. What am I going to do about it, right? um,
I'd rather, I guess, that than get kicked off.
yeah, I totally don't think it's because of content. I do think our content can get boring after a while, but I don't think that's why we're not growing. I literally do believe that they are stifling growth on purpose.
It makes no sense because they don't make money either by doing that.
Well, I've said before though, how do you know in on their books we might have a lot more subscribers and a lot more views?
Right. Yeah,
I
but
mean,
yeah.
they could be stifling it and not telling us, right? How
Right.
would you ever know? They own the program.
Yeah,
so.
I guess.
I'm not saying that they are, but it's anything's possible.
It ain't really.
Sean, sure things, guys. Whoa, where'd you go? Sure thing, guys. Where are you, buddy? This side. Night, man. Love you. Right to sleep. Хорошо. Спокойной ночи. Sure thing, guys. Yeah, signal is spotty this time of year for me, but I would love to join you guys. Anytime after August usually works for me.
Okay, I will write
Hey,
you.
stay in touch. Sergey, Russian Bear Strong.
If people aren't aware, Sean in Alaska has his own channel. So
Yes, he
you can
does.
go and check him out.
That is the channel name.
After.
Yeah, stay with us. Don't leave yet.
Yeah, he's building a cabin in Alaska. He's retired.
Yeah, we've known
Well,
Sean
yes.
for, well, actually, we've never met, but we've known him through YouTube for 4 years,
Maybe. Yeah.
probably, something like that.
Anyway, go check him out. His channel's really cool. He's building his cabin and it's got its own little chickens and gardens and
Your burrs. Jay, well wishes from Jonathan, Kathy, Jonathan Jr. in Northern Ireland. Tell us an interesting fact about yourself we might not have heard yet.
oh, I think they're a pretty open book. They probably
Yeah, I
know
don't
everything
have
about
too
you.
many secrets. Interesting fact. I can't skate. Well,
Mm,
I can't skate very well. put it that way.
you can't skate.
Yeah, I do more falling probably. I haven't tried in years either.
Interesting fact.
I don't know if that's interesting or not.
You
Well, a
what?
lot of people are shocked by that because as a Dutchman, they all assume you are
Mm.
supposed to know how to skate. All Dutch
Mm.
people apparently can skate, and I can't. So
Okay, we got some things up top.
I only got one up top
What is this? Make super chats more fun
with a goal. Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Mm.
Victor Yushchenko. That can't be your real name, is it? It's cool if it is. $19.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Victor. To every one of you who gives one way or another, we really appreciate it. It does help us keep going here. We have a lot of costs in building this place and literally no income. That's the first time in our life that we've done this. In the past, we've always had some income because I could always fall back on construction or something. And here in Russia, it's a little bit more challenging in that regard. We will hopefully get to that point though soon, and yeah, start making an income. We're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, this helps us out a lot. So thank you. Hello, guys. Glad to see you. Vit, good evening, everyone. Eric, after 37 years, yes, retired for 2 weeks. Now enjoying gardening and family. But if I emailed you, you'd still answer or what?
Probably not.
Yeah.
He doesn't want anything to do with it.
Semi retired? I'm happy for you, Eric. It's been a pleasure knowing you all these years, and I hope you enjoy your retirement. Chibu Rek, Hart, Alexander, do you plan? Yes, I always plan, but plans change, and I change plans a lot. I'm always planning and replanning and more planning, and sometimes that can be very annoying for my wife because she can't always keep up with my plans. But my brain never shuts off, which is actually quite annoying. I've learned to manage it over the years. When I was younger, it was a real challenge because I couldn't sleep. I would just lay there and I would just be thinking, and I'd be like, "Shut up, go to sleep."
He's not talking to me.
No, I would just talk to my brain. But you do learn to manage it and try to organize. I'm not. I'd like to be more organized, but I'm not very. And that's actually even more of a challenge for me now here in Russia because it's hard to plan because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what the next application or next piece of paperwork is going to bring. You don't know what the markets are like or what Oh, there's so many things. I mean, I thought we would have had sheep a long time ago. It's such a challenge. Everything's a challenge. You know, it's easier for me to do business, to do plans, and to do things in North America because I understand how things function and work there, and they're in my language. And so we'll get there. Some people, when I say stuff like that, they're like, "Well, then leave." No, that's not what I'm saying. Try to understand me. It's just it's challenging, and it will be challenging for every immigrant. Um, but it's manageable. You'll learn. You'll adapt. You'll figure it out. Or we will
Mm-hmm.
and grow. Some gardening stuff. Happy retirement, Eric. That's awesome. Artem, hello, all good people. Alina, Aaron, how is your health? And Anneesa, the same question. I remember you both had some problems. Well, I guess for me, I had mostly back pain, like a bunch of herniated discs. So the ones in my back, I went through a lot of massage, great masseuse. That's gone. My neck is still a problem, and my shoulder is still a problem. I don't know how many days a week do I have a headache now? 4,
Lots.
lots. Yeah.
He's
Anyway,
drinking a lot of coffee again. A lot.
it is what it is.
A lot of coffee.
I don't think it's coffee though. But anyway, it does
I
bother
think
me
it's
quite a bit.
coffee. Oh, I think it's coffee.
Herniated disc is not
No,
coffee.
no, your headaches are the coffee.
Well, the herniated disc causes the headache.
No, that's the neck ache.
We disagree. Hey, we just did a podcast on the other channel, Countryside Corner. Do we ever argue?
I disagree.
I guess we're disagreeing today, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Hers, you hurt your foot. Still hurts.
It starts. It comes and goes. Depends on the day. Today I walked around without my shoes on, so it bothered me most of the day. But now I put my shoe on and I feel good.
I feel better.
Yep. Sometimes at night it throbs. Sometimes it's good. I wear my little foot brace thingy at night sometimes, and it helps.
All in all, our health's pretty good.
Yeah, everything's good.
We both need to lose some weight.
Yeah, that's my thing.
That would help us out.
Yeah, and I think I've been cutting out a lot of sugar out of my diet, so I think that's gonna help.
Yep. And we got Wes's health concerns as well.
Mhm.
We're still debating whether or not to do the knee surgery. We were given a quote for 240,000 rubles. It's a lot of money to fix his knee, and so then it's like, oof, do we want to do it or don't we want to do it? So,
Well, we want to do it if it's gonna fix it, but it's so hard to know whether it's actually gonna fix it, right? So it's like, do you, don't you? Like, you
right,
know.
he's 15. He's got a long way to go on his knee yet.
Right. We don't.
And then, of course, the cost factor in it as well. That's a huge amount of money for hopeful success. But I mean, what if we spend all that money and it doesn't work? You know, so if you're a praying person, please pray for that as well, because we need to decide that soon whether we're going to go for that or not.
Yeah, and then the recovery and stuff too. I know him; he doesn't sit well very good. So I worry that the recovery's not gonna.
Yeah. Thanks for asking, though.
So
Appreciate
you
that.
did this one?
I believe I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I did.
Okay.
Alexander, I think so. They are engaged in farming. Country Singer, we and they made a video professionally. Alexander, greetings to you from Smolensk region. I watch every video of yours. Have a good evening. I'll watch the recording with the translation later. Thank you, Alexander. Okay, I lost a whole whack there. I think it skipped down to the bottom or something. Whoops, now we're back up here again. Okay, I'm going to start right there. Eli approves of the live.
Yeah, he came in for
Dean Jones, Aaron, I know you believe in natural agriculture. Are you aware of planting by the phases of the moon? I have heard of it, but I'm not really, no. And I also don't have that much experience planting crops. We have been mostly grass based. So, I mean, we planted grass, of course, grass. I haven't really actually planted any cereals other than in Saskatchewan. I planted 15 acres of oats and I planted 15 acres of peas.
Yeah, but you worked with people.
Oh, I have worked with people.
Yeah, you worked.
The peas were an utter failure and the oats grew really good. The rest of the time, we've mostly just seeded down grass because we're feeding animals that need a lot of grass. Our goat dairy farm as well. We had pretty well the whole farm there, 300 acres in hay production.
Oats.
No, I didn't grow any oats. The year we bought it, we combined those oats, and then I never grew any oats after that because I could buy them cheaper. At that time, I could buy oats cheaper than I could grow them. So it didn't make sense to. And then we rented that other farm. There's another 150 acres of grass as well. So, but I have worked for farmers seeding stuff. But then, of course, you just kind of told how to do it, or when to do it, or what to do it. Um, we'll learn as we go. We do plan on growing a lot of cereals here for our own animals. Greetings from Yamal. Greetings from Siberia. I subscribed. I love seeing how folks live in different parts of the world, different challenges, different ways to do things. I always learn something. Can't wait to watch Sean. Oh, thank you for doing that, for supporting him. Just me. How can foreigners transfer their money to a Russian bank with all these sanctions? How can foreigners live in Russia if they can't take their money there? You are a real inspiration. God bless. It's a challenge, but it is possible. I just talked to somebody who did it via, I can't remember what country, but from one country to another to another. Basically, find a country that still works with Russia and go around the boat that way. Uh, for them, they said their bank fees were very minimal, but you have to watch that because banks are greedy and love to take your money. I know I tried through a different bank and they told me it was going to be 7% of everything you move. So every $100, they would take 7. You don't want to do that. You can find people who have left Russia. You can swap with them. I mean, it might be a little hard to find. And of course, you have to trust them because somebody has to send the first transaction. And if it's a scammer, you lose your money. So be careful, very careful. People have lost a lot of money. We moved some through crypto. We actually lost $15,000 in crypto. It never came. Nobody seems to know where it is. I don't know who took it. Kind of hard to accuse anybody. Yeah, anyway, it is what it is. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. All right. Documentary was wonderful to watch. Awesome. Arthur, how do you like the new bucket for the tractor? I haven't actually tried it. It's very small.
Looks
Like it looks really strong and sturdy. I like that part
Mhm.
of it. I like the fact that they gave it to us. They seen what it did to the other bucket. Which, by the way, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're too hard on the bucket." It's a tractor bucket. Okay, it's meant to go on an 80 horse tractor. It should be able to handle some work. I don't believe I did anything excessive to that bucket. Definitely not any more than I would have done to any of my buckets in Canada.
It's a different type of steel.
It's too thin. That bucket is built like junk. The first bucket that I had.
Yeah, but I just feel like the steel in general, like
Well, they have better buckets here. They have lots of great buckets. I was just told that I should have bought, not bought the feather bucket. I should have bought a better
the
bucket. I
feather
don't know.
bucket.
Like our last house on Manitoulin Island, I literally stripped the topsoil off the entire lot for the house with a tractor bucket, and the
Wait.
bucket had no problems when I was
It
done.
wasn't just topsoil; it was all rocks.
There was rocks and chunks. Like it was hard work on that tractor. No
Yeah.
problems. No problems with the bucket. This bucket, all I did was move a bit of clay and sand around and it folded. So anyway, they sent me a new bucket. It is way better, like much thicker metals, way stronger, but it's a lot narrower. And so I always like having a bucket at least as big as a tractor. And that's mainly because when you're cleaning out the barn, if the bucket's narrower, your tires are going to ride on one side or the other, and then it makes it hard to clean out. But we'll adapt to it. I really like the bucket so far. It looks sturdy and
I
strong.
have to admit, I haven't actually taken a look at it.
Yeah, well, it's way stronger
I
because
haven't even been out.
even under the bucket, the old one had only 2 supports, and this one is narrower and has 3 supports. Like it's the side metal has got to be twice
So
as
they
thick.
took your support idea.
No, these are different supports. These are flat ones underneath. Inside, they're
Ah.
also stronger. Yes. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I think it should last for a while.
We will see.
Victor, there's no translation into Russian. There never is. Not until afterwards.
Later.
Darren, are cattle prices high there in Russia? In Canada, USA cattle prices are record high. No, they're not that crazy. They're still high.
They're still high.
So dairy cattle right now has gone way up. Last year, I could buy a really good dairy cow for $3,000 Canadian. Now it's about 5,000 Canadian, and that's because there's a shortage of milk. Now that's great if you're in the milk production because the milk price is also up. So it's a great time to milk cows in Russia, and you can make more money milking cows here per liter than you can in Canada. And there is 0 quota payments here in Russia, and the land price is also very low. So if you are interested in milking cows, Russia is most certainly a great place for you to consider doing that. Beef prices, they're not really that high. It's reasonable. I don't know the exact numbers off my head, but I know I bought some calves recently. One was 2 months old, one was 3 months old, and we paid about $300 Canadian per calf. So very low. If you're not aware, right now in Canada, it's insane. People are getting, for a 1 week old calf, they're getting $1,500. And that's not good for anybody. I mean, it's great for the farmer that's selling the calf, but anybody that's buying calves, I got my oldest brother actually buys a lot of calves, raises them, so he has to pay these crazy prices, and then hopefully still make some money when he sells them. And that's where the real problem comes in, because all of you people that eat meat, at some point, you're going to have to pay for that meat. And I don't understand how anybody's going to do that, because these calves that are now $1,500 used to be $200, right? So corn price is up, the cattle price is up. That means the beef price has to go up. The steaks, the roasts, they're going to go through the roof. If you think they're high now, they're going to be much higher in 6 months and 9 months. And I don't know how people are going to be able to afford to buy it. It disappeared. I just clicked on it. It's gone.
All right. Well, I have it here.
J Hannah, €10. 10 euro super chat. Thank you very much. You heart it right there on the corner. Lots of love and blessings from Northern Ireland. Keep building, keep living as God intended us to. It inspires so. Thank you very much, Jay.
Thank you very much.
All right, we better skip down a little more here. Eric Bedard, thanks. Still follow you. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Eric. In your retirement, you should have more time to follow us. Happy days from Oregon, USA. Yeah, I'm going to skip down a little bit because I'm way behind now, I think. Anna Marie, my back pain and sciatica disappeared after I switched. Sciatica? Is that a silent C? Disappeared after I switched to the carnivore diet. I did try that for a while in the States.
I tried it too, but since I've got my gallbladder out, it doesn't seem to help because my body, I think honestly what my issue is because I don't have a gallbladder and I can't digest fats properly, and I seem to be having an issue with it. So it's like,
yeah.
I just, So I think I have to just change my diet. It's hard because I don't know what to eat and what not to eat. And I put on so much weight now. Yeah. I've never had an issue with my weight ever. It's so disappointing that I'm getting older and now I have an issue with my weight. But I've never had an issue with my weight. So now I'm just.
You got to look at it differently. You got to look at the positives. No, you're more efficient on feed intake now.
No.
You don't need as much food.
Yeah. Yeah, I could starve myself for days and I still put on 5 pounds.
The only person on the planet that can get fat by breathing.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's kind of discouraging.
I love you either way.
I know, but it's still not fun. When your body's telling you, you're too fat. And it's
your knees are saying this. Get off me. You're not that bad.
Oh, it feels like it.
Oh.
My body's telling me that.
Oh, you're funny.
It's hard.
Do you need a hug?
Anyway.
Jay Hannah, thanks for answering my wife's question, guys. You're welcome. I have no idea what the question was.
A long time ago. You're too busy yapping.
That's my job.
Here, we get another one here.
It's a great novelty for us to hear you talking from the other side of the world. In Ireland, we see the same government corruption as Canada. God bless. Keep going. Oh, it's terrible. And I think a lot of people are waking up, but there's still a lot of people that think, oh, we'll fix it by voting for the right guy. And there is no right guy. When will people wake up? There's just no right guy. It doesn't matter whether you vote for this hand or this hand. They all do the same thing. Yeah. People need to wake up, either like really get rid of those governments by standing up for something, or say forget it and leave. And the reason we said forget it and left is because when it comes down to it, I find that half the people in the country are okay with the terrible, terrible way that the country's going. Mm-hmm. So only about half the Canadians, I think, are willing to stand up and say something about it. The other half are not. No, I shouldn't even say that. Only half of them see something wrong. That's different. Of the half that see something wrong, a teeny percentage are willing to stand up and do something about it. The rest of them are like, yeah, well, I know.
And even if you were willing to stand up and do something, I find there's so much people sitting on the fence.
Yes.
It's like they say it's wrong, but then when it actually comes down to the crunch, they're like, well, maybe it's not that bad. Right.
So the reality then is that really there's nothing you can do about it. There's not voting the right guy. That's not going to fix it. Look at the states. They got the right guy and still nothing's getting accomplished. And yeah, you see some baby steps, sure. But all in all, you're on the brink of 2 more wars. You still haven't, still spending more money than you should. And there's a lot of issues in the world. I'm very happy that we're here. Another comment I gotta go to. $9.99 super chat from Victor Yushenko. I thought we did. There's a
No,
second
that's
one.
another one.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Victor Novikov, translation subtitles are not possible. Oh, that's for somebody else. Some gardening and stuff. Magnesium is great. It is. It disappeared now. I don't know where it went. Arend, would you like to install a turbine on your tractor? Yes. Yeah, I think that would increase the horsepower. That might destroy my bucket, though. I don't know. I would.
Sorry, the new bucket doesn't hold up. They
No,
have to give you another bucket.
Honestly,
Maybe
looking
you're
at the
tester.
bucket, looking at the new bucket, I think it'll hold up no problem. I would be more worried about the loader at some point.
So far, I'm really impressed with the loader.
It's doing good, yeah, but I'm worried because it sticks out so much farther than the front of the tractor. It creates a lot of extra torque on the brackets. Right. So that would be one concern.
Right, but so far, like for the amount that you've done
I
with
found
it and the way that the bucket crumbled, I'm actually surprised at
how well it's held up. Yeah, that's true.
It's sturdy. Yeah. It seems sturdy.
Which reminds me, I should grease it again sometime this week.
Yeah,
I did find the tractor was weak when it came to plowing. It's supposed to be 80 horse, and it just felt like it was just missing something. Now, my last 80 horse tractor, Case IH Farmall 90, I guess it's rated for 86 horsepower. Awesome tractor. I had that one for, I don't know, 10 years or something. It was a great tractor. Very simple as well. But it did have a turbo, and it had a lot of pulling power. For an 86 horse tractor, it was very, very good. Shirt guy, it's a shame that Google is pessimizing this channel. By now, there would be 300 plus subscribers as well. Yep, I think so too, but what do you do? Anton, guys, is it possible for me to visit you? I would like to learn more about the technology of building Canadian frame houses. It could be. Send me an email.
We're going to have to start charging people for visiting.
We do get a lot of visitors, yeah.
We enjoy it. You know, it's funny. I do enjoy it, but I remember years ago we went in Saskatchewan. They have these Thyroid colonies, and there's a whole bunch of people living together, and they have all these buildings, and they're kind of like a communal thing all by themselves. So people like us can go there, and we can get a tour of their little community. And when we went the one time with friends, they said, "Well, we can give you a tour, but so and so she's gonna charge you $20 for the tour." And we were like, $20? Seriously? For this tour? I understand now why. Because every day, if somebody came and needed another tour,
it does take a lot out of your
time. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just, in my mind, though, at the time, I was like, it's really strange, right? Like, but now I understand because it's like, yeah, they have a life, right? You're getting a tour of their lifestyle. Yep. And there's nothing wrong with us having the tour, and she was great at it. She really enjoyed our visit. She enjoyed our visit just as much as we enjoyed theirs. But
that's when we went with Glenn and Lori, right?
Yeah, but I now understand because it's like, you know, it does take a lot of your day, and if you're driving, walking people around all day, showing them things, then it does take a lot of their time.
I concur. This is interesting. There is no try. $100. This comment as it says $100 for 3-day-old Holstein calf steers in Southeast U.S. Now you're a long ways from Canada. I don't know if there's a way for you to get those into Canada, but literally those calves are going for $1,500 or more right now in Canada, in Ontario. I don't know about Western Canada. Crazy. Trouble is that 3-day-old calves don't transport that well. I have seen calves come in before from Manitoba to Ontario and also from Eastern Canada to Ontario. By the time they get there, they're not feeling that great. Death loss is a lot higher. They just don't transport very well on long distances. So. Since Russia is the #1 biggest fertilizer manufacturer, our domestic price is cheap. There again, I have no idea. We typically do not buy fertilizer. We prefer to go a more organic route. I look at fertilizer. Sometimes it's needed, and some things are organic. Some things are just like rock-based, right? So, like if you need lime or something like that. But the chemical fertilizers, we're not really a big fan of. It gives a boost, kind of like drugs to a junkie. He gets off the ground running, but long-term, it's not any good for him. And you're much better off to have good nutrition and feed him well in order to get him motivated and keep him going. And in that light, we prefer to feed soil microbes, feed the worms, feed the bugs, feed the organisms that live in the ground. There's literally billions of organisms living in your dirt that need to be fed. And these are things you can't even see, but they live down there. They eat rotten vegetation, manure, anything basically. They eat it and they turn it into fertile soil. And then your plants can grow. And so you can really change an entire field just by doing good management practices. Things that your neighbors are going to think are weird, like not cutting your hay. Last year we didn't cut any hay here, we just left it. It reseeded itself. It also fell down and it gave, and then we crushed it down and it gave the soil something to eat. People don't understand that. They look at it as a wasted crop. This year, we see benefits from that. We see a
Mhm.
lot of new plants there now that weren't there last year, and we see a healthier, thicker soil. And most likely, most of this stuff will stay there again this year. And it's called rebuilding your soil. It's not wasted. So we much prefer that over buying fertilizer. Katerina Badina, hello. I watched the show We and They with you. I liked it. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks
Mhm.
for the feedback. Yeah, we agreed to do these documentaries. Now everybody tells us it's going to be a huge boost for you. It's going to be great for your family, and to some degree, the kids definitely don't want to do it. Really, like some of them are kind of fun. And all in all, it wasn't too bad once they were
No, this
gone.
one was really good.
Yeah,
Like
I think we enjoyed it.
some of them are really not enjoyable, but this one seems to be a really good people to work
Yeah,
with.
they were great people to work with. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was enjoyable. But all of them, it does get kind of tiring
I
after a
would
while.
I
So
would say out of all of them, this one was amazing because it was like our kids just went to play the game, like soccer,
because they had such a big
and
crew.
they had such a big crew
Yeah.
that they literally caught all those moments. Like, so it's not like they had to stage anything. So like the kids were wasting
Yeah.
time while you were busy with her, and a camera guy caught them playing soccer in the thing, and he got a bunch of clips from it, right?
Right.
Or we were walking through, and one camera person got Maddie just standing there, looking at whatever, and so they didn't have to, like, our kids didn't have to pretend. They literally just caught those special moments. We were playing cards in the house. They walked in the house, seen the opportunity that we were playing cards, and then quick started videotaping. So that I found was so much
Mm-hmm.
nicer with our family, and I think it really helped everybody feel comfortable.
Yep. Yep. So, but anyway, the subscriber count, oh, it's supposed to go way up. Well, so far it hasn't. I think we've gotten 30, 30 or 40 new subscribers out of the deal. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Every one of them always tells us that, but nothing ever.
Yeah, but again, if YouTube's not,
If YouTube's suppressing it, that could
right,
be part of it. Yeah.
which
for
is
sure.
so frustrating.
Thank you for your answer. Good luck. Thank you. Okay, this one's puzzling me. Hello from NC, Canada. And S would be Nova Scotia. Who's NC? I can't think of an NC. There's no province with an NC. It must be a spelling mistake, right?
I don't know.
Oh my, I should know my Canadian provinces. There's no NC.
Mm.
You Googling it?
Mm-hmm.
I know there's. You get PEI, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. Could be NB. Maybe they punched a B. Is the B and the C beside each other?
Maybe it's just a city name.
Maybe. It's going to be pumped in here in a minute, but there's no Nice NC.
No idea.
Find tourist attraction Canada NC. It doesn't exist. I swear it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we're doing good. Thanks, Noel. How has your cooking and diet changed after moving to Russia?
Terrible.
So we ate a lot more meat in Canada because we had an endless supply of it. We had all our own meat. We had our own beef, pork, and chicken. And since we've moved, since we left the farm, for the time we traveled around the States, we took meat with us from Canada.
Yeah, canned and
We had lots of canned meat. But since we've left North America, we have been buying meat. In Georgia, the country of Georgia, good meat is
horrible.
very hard to find. I think we found one restaurant that sold a good steak, but you couldn't really find a good steak in the store. Everything was like old cow. It was
Horse
terrible.
meat.
Maybe
Tasted
that's
like
a
horse
preference.
meat.
Like some people do like
It's
different
horrible.
kind of stuff, but it wasn't to our preference anyway. Here in Russia, we can usually find some good steaks from Miratorg. The last bunch you bought, you said weren't very good though. They
No.
tasted like old cow too. So the consistency maybe is not always there, but you're paying for it, right? It's expensive. So we do eat a lot less meat now than before. Other than that, basically the same food. We eat a lot of potatoes, a lot of vegetables, bread, cereal, well, not cereal, but like oatmeal for breakfast, eggs. I would say basically our meals are still the same, just less meat. What do you think?
I feel like,
More cookies now, but
yeah, there's a lot more sugar that
that's because
we were
Cora's
like,
cooking.
because we could get our honey in such a big pail. We almost had cut white sugar out of our diet completely, and now we're back to eating sugar all the time. And I
Mm.
think that has a lot to do with the inflammation. We ate a lot more chicken broths and stuff like that, and I feel like because we've been building and busy with other things, that it's hard to get back into that. I think
Hmm.
we're almost at the point that I can start, making, you know, sauerkrauts and all those ferments that we need for our bellies and
Yes, yeah, I
that type
missed
of
that.
thing,
Yep.
right?
Hopefully, we'll get to that soon with all the cabbage you got growing.
Well, I don't think the bugs are getting the
Are they?
cabbage. It's so
We'll try
bad.
to do something about that.
Yeah.
Jam, it's more than half, Aaron, and they defend the corruption and wrongs being done. Well, okay, I'm being generous then with half, but still, how do you fix that? How can you fix a country? Because if the right side wins and tries to do something, then the other side, and you're saying it's more than half, it very well could be, will be extremely upset. Right? Look at Trump's first presidency. All of a sudden, you get all these groups coming out and throwing riots and busting buildings, and there's all of this stuff. And now you get the same thing going again now. I mean, illegal immigration is obviously a problem. Anybody with a half a brain should know that it's illegal. It's called that for a reason. It's illegal immigration, and that should be clamped down on. And now look at the riots that are going on again. It's insanity. And so that's again, I don't want to be a broken record, but I just don't see how you can fix the problem when that many people like the problem. It's I don't know. And you need to start earlier. And I hope Russia, I hope the Russian leadership also sees that and takes note and looks at the West and says, okay, what happened? How did half the people get to be that crazy that they like this stuff? What can we do differently? And it starts with the schooling, it starts with educating and getting those universities, because a lot of these kids end up in university and their brains get totally mushed and they get fed all this liberal garbage, and they can't think straight anymore. And then those people then get out into society and they teach more people, and it just continues to go wrong. Traditional Christian moral values, just good traditional values that everybody held at one point, is going out the window, and kids need to be taught those things. Get them back in the schools, and maybe I believe it's a Christian, but like here in the Soviet Union, they had a lot of great morals and learning more about that all the time, and it wasn't per se from a Christian angle, because during the Soviet Union, Christianity was somewhat suppressed. But the moral values were still there because they were traditional. They held on to these things and they taught them, and that we need to carry that on. I don't know what the education system is like here at all. I do see some young people, nothing like the West, but I do see some young people here that I question. I look at them, I'm like, you guys look like you're come too far on the left, in my opinion. Um, and I do worry about that, because if that's a trend and it carries on, I really hope that they can, fight that before it gets too bad, like it does
I
in the
do
West.
worry though that some of the ones that you're referring to are older than the biting it in the butt.
It might be too late there, but we
Yeah,
need
but they're
to.
gonna have offsprings themselves, and
Yes,
then they're gonna
and
breed.
that'll cause problem. But we need to
It's
make
gonna be
a
a snowball
clear
effect.
effort in the education system to say, whoa, we're not going to teach this garbage. Like if you look at all that nonsense they're teaching now in the
Mm-hmm.
schools to the kids, those kids are totally messed up. They
Like
think
in
they can be a
Canada,
dog or a
yeah.
cat or you can change gender. You can all this
One
weird
thing I
stuff.
worry about here is technology, and we could do a whole podcast on that. Is the technology I
Hmm.
find that it's hindering the children big time.
Yep.
Like I see the whole generations of people that are just stuck to these phones, and the kids
Yep.
are no different. They're socially awkward now. They
And
can't
because of that,
communicate.
also they're distanced from
Yeah,
reality. I see people with children, and the children can't focus on anything. They seem all
yeah.
like scattery like this
Like
and
I
just
feel
antsy,
like even us.
almost like they're mentally not quite right.
Yeah,
They can't sit still and focus on a task anymore.
yeah,
And those people will one day run our country.
yeah.
They will one day run businesses or work at businesses, but they need to function in society. And we're doing it to ourselves. We need to
Mm-hmm.
raise men and women, responsible citizens,
Yeah.
people who can take this country and go somewhere with it.
Yeah, I feel like even us, we've been doing like obviously not on our lives, but we've been doing until 6 o'clock on Sunday, the last few Sundays with no technology, no phones, no computers, no,
That's a new thing
and
for us, but
just a new thing because I feel like our brain has just been so overloaded, and I'm like, you know what, we should just try it, and I feel like what a relief.
yeah.
It's like today too. We kind of forgot in the morning, and I was like, "Oh, we forgot." So then we put them away, turn them off, and I just feel so much more rejuvenated mentally, not like physically, but mentally. I just feel like so much, and I just can imagine a young child and a baby being babysat with these phones and stuff all the time. How
Hmm.
what it's doing to their
Hmm.
brains. Like it's exhausting for my brain. I just
Yep. And their attention spans turn
yeah,
to nothing.
like their development. It's a crucial
If you're a
stage.
parent, take that thing out of your kid's hand. This thing, get it out. I don't care if
Yeah,
you have to hit it with a hammer and smash it.
yeah,
Get it out of your kid's hand and tell them to go outside and play.
yeah.
Do something
Like I
useful.
feel like there's a couple of our kids that always want to try to grab the phone and stuff like that too, or want to peek over your shoulder and stuff because we're not leading by example always. But I feel like our kids have still imaginations. They can figure it. Like today they just went out and played in that sandbox for hours. And it's so healthy for them to learn and to do those things, develop in those things.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. What would you recommend?
To
Sorry, I
that
was reading two
person.
comments at once. What would you recommend to a person that has no experience in farming whatsoever, but has a great desire to buy a plot of land and start? Do it. Do it. If you can afford to buy a piece of land,
I'd
do it.
recommend starting small though, like you said, a plot
Oh,
of
yes.
land, and I
Yeah.
would buy if you could get a little house on it or a little cabin on it, and then I would recommend starting with chickens,
Chickens is the
the
is the
gateway.
gateway drug, they say, to homesteading. Everybody starts with
Yeah,
chickens, but
or ducks. I really enjoyed ducks. I really
but
like
but
ducks.
but get your mind into the set that it's not a business. Okay, you're starting out, so it's not going to be a business. It's just going to be a hobby for now, and
Mhm.
it's not going to be profitable. So
Mhm.
don't get that in your mindset that you're going to quit your job, buy a piece of land, and make a ton of money farming.
Mhm.
Start slow, learn a lot, ask a lot of questions, and ask people who actually know what they're talking about. Because there's a lot of people that give you advice but haven't got a clue.
Mhm.
And
I
there's
would.
a lot of good people online that have great platforms. Like if it comes to regenerative agriculture, you can find guys like Joel Salatin or Greg Judy that know a ton of stuff about rebuilding land.
Yeah, I would also start looking at where your food comes from right now. Where are you buying? What is in the food that you're buying? Those type of things, because then as you start being more aware of where your food's coming from, you start realizing how unhealthy your food is,
Yes.
and it starts making you
Yeah.
understand that you would like to grow more for yourself and
Yeah. And
plant.
start simple.
Yeah,
Like start
couple
trying to replace your grocery bill slowly. It doesn't have to be
slowly.
all of
Yeah,
it,
don't go right
right? But
fast.
then it'll slowly lead into canning and preserving
Yeah.
and freezing your
Yeah,
food.
I would start with by growing like one tomato plant or something in a planter in your yard, and then if you can keep that alive, well, then you use
And if they all die and get eaten by bugs, who cares? It's a package of seeds. It's
yeah,
not going to
and
break the
they're
bank,
learning. Like
you know?
you're learning. So like
Yeah.
today too, I went to the garden. I seen all these plants covered in the moth bugs, typical on the cabbages and stuff. I was like, you know what? It's okay because I am learning. I'm figuring more things out for this new climate that we're not used to, and you know, looking at all the stuff that did grow, and I've now, I'm learning. It's my
Yeah,
first
and there's
year
only
here in
so
a
much
new,
time. Like we are busy every
yeah,
day, so it's no point beating
yeah,
yourself up. You just try your best, and next year you do something a little bit
yeah.
different. And
Every moment is
yeah.
a teachable moment. So as long as you can look at it as education, you are
But I would
doing great.
100% encourage you to do it. The
Yeah,
small piece, big piece, whatever. Land always goes up in value anyway, so it's always a good investment.
yeah,
And just get out there and try it, and
yeah,
you'll enjoy it. It's so rewarding when you can sit down and you can eat your food, and it grew on your land. It's just awesome.
yeah. Start small though. Don't get overwhelmed. Start small. Work your way into it.
Yep. How would you feel if your daughters didn't want to wear hats when they got older? Well, nobody has to wear a hat. I'm assuming you're speaking about a head covering. I don't know if this got translated funny or what, but it's not called a hat. It's called a head covering. That is up to my wife if she wants to wear one or not wear one.
Yeah,
Not up to me. We do believe it's biblical, but it is between her and God. It's got nothing to do with me. So if my daughters don't want to wear one, that's a decision that they have to make, and that's how we raise them as well. So look, at the end of the day, they're accountable for their actions between them and God. And so if they can read that scripture verse and clearly come up with the understanding that they don't need to do that, then again, that's between them and God, not me. So how would I feel about it? Indifferent, I guess. She's not wearing it because of me. She's wearing it because she read through scriptures and sees clearly that she's supposed to wear it. Those $100 calves are milk calves, steers. The milk producers wanting them off the mom once they get colostrum. Yes, 100%. That's what they are, and that's what my brother does. He buys bull calves from dairy farmers. I used to do it when I was younger as well. My brother's been doing it for, oh shoot, I don't know, probably 30 years. How old would it be? Yeah, probably around 30 years. He's been buying bull calves and raising them. So if there's an expert out there on bull calves, I would say my brother's one of them. And I mean, there was a time where I could buy those calves for $30 easy. They've gone up a lot. They're more like $300 now in Canada. And now today, those calves are $1,500. But they buy them in from all over, sometimes on the truckload. We would unload a truck and maybe 40 calves, and they just had a long trip from Manitoba or something. Those are usually bad. You don't want those. The reason people do it is because they're cheaper coming from such a distance. But being in the truck that long, it's really hard on the calf. Monique, $10 Canadian. I really enjoy your channel from Vancouver, Canada. Thank you very much, Monique. Again, to everyone who contributes, we really appreciate the support. It helps us carry on here and develop this farm. And in turn, I guess, educate a lot of people around the world about what's going on here. Your grass really took off where the chicken tractors were. A huge difference in growth. Amen. Yeah, absolutely. Best fertilizer there is manure.
You should see some spots in the lawn now. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, everywhere where the chickens were, you can really see a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Leather belt. Greetings, dear brothers and sisters from the Russian church. Thank you. I heard that wood chips really improve soil. What do you think? It can. It depends on what your soil's missing.
It depends on the wood chips.
That too. And I'm not an expert on it, but I do know, like, old bushland in northern Ontario, they would clear it, and then you need nitrogen to break down the wood. So there's obviously a limit to how much wood is there, and if there's not enough nitrogen, where do you get the nitrogen from? Rhyme nursery. Where do you get nitrogen from? A great source, of course, is cattle manure, but then you need to have cow in order to get the manure. So we put artificial nitrogens on then. But I believe wood chips can be really good in building organic matter, just like straw. So we put straw in the garden to bulk it up. That rots and turns into good soil, and also gives you more water retention. So the water that comes down, like rain, will stay in the soil instead of running off. And we don't really have an issue with that here. Our soil is already very absorbent, which is great, because that water, if water runs off your land, it's gone. That's wasted. You want it to sink in, to soak into the land, and then it's available for all the roots and all the plants that are growing on the land. You don't want it to run away. Also, when it runs away, any fertilizer, anything good on the topsoil also will run away as well. It'll end up in the river somewhere. You don't want that either, because you can't get that back. So the idea is to keep it there on the land and let it soak in slow.
The problem we had though this year is when we tilled it up, we had a thick, hard layer on the top. So that's why we wanted to put some organic matter in to help
till it all in.
So it didn't become like a layer of cement. It's kind of what it was.
Countryside Acres, has your family ever read Little House on the Prairie? I have never read it. I believe you have. I've watched some of the movies with you. That's it. I've never read the books.
Yes, the children have.
It's a set of 9 books by Laura Inglis Wilder.
And I think the other Canadian family actually brought it with them, so our kids reread them when they were here.
Okay. I think any Maddie moment is a cute moment. She is so adorable. Yes.
So true. Yeah. Somebody asked about my thyroid. Maybe my issue is my thyroid. I actually did have issues with my thyroid years ago. I have not got it tested in a while. My thyroid was hyperthyroid. It's definitely not hyper anymore. I think it must be hypo. So I actually might get that checked again, because I never really remembered that. But yeah, that could be what's going on. Is my thyroid could be needing some attention. Could be that I'm just getting old. Old people tend to have slower metabolisms, and
yeah, it's true. You're getting old.
Yeah.
That's okay. We get old together.
Mm.
Darren, what would an acre of farmland sell for in Russia and Canadian dollars? Good land for grain farming. Again, I'm not a grain farmer. I
Exactly.
believe I have good land here as
The
well, but
flies.
I know it varies a lot depending on where you go. So a lot of people think only the black dirt is good, and there's lots of that as well. You got to go farther south, and that land costs more. Here in Nizhny, you can buy decent land for what are we talking per acre here? You said right? So
But can
yeah.
you?
So here they sell everything in hectares, right? Just a minute.
I would say it's more than you think now.
Probably is, yeah. So I would say good 500 Canadian dollars an acre. You can buy nice land around here. If you want to buy bushland, you can buy it cheaper, of course. That's 500 Canadian. I think you can get good land, but it might have gone up a little bit. Either way, it's much cheaper than in Canada. Hello from America. That disappeared. All right, down here, Pie Face. Are you considering a collaboration with other YouTube channels? I also watch Wild Siberia, who has said he has spoken with you and that you're a great success story as foreigners living in Russia. Yeah, we met Dan actually at an event here in Nizhny Novgorod that he was at with a few other YouTubers, a few other bloggers. That's the word I was looking for. Uh, Most of our stuff is really farming and construction based, and I don't know any other families that are doing that.
On our other channel, we might do some collabs, though.
We do stuff there, and we have done some collabs already. I've done some stuff with Joe Rose, expat American. Main reason is because Joe was one of our contacts before coming to Canada, and so it kind of felt like we, wanted to talk about that a little bit. He's also actively involved in trying to show what Russia looks like. Now we've interviewed a few people on Countryside Corner, other bloggers as well. I don't know if we've actually done anything with any other bloggers per se. I mean, Real Reporter, of course, done an interview with him. But yeah, probably in the future we'll do something. Actually, I think there's something going to be coming up possibly in a few weeks that you might be interested in.
It's interesting. This person says Hashimoto often, not always, first produces hyperthyroidism because it's autoimmune disease. And then you get hypothyroid. Check your two antibodies. One of them is triggers is gluten.
Yeah.
And I have
Yeah, you
celiac,
have
and I've been
celiacs.
eating gluten. So, could be.
Karen, your YouTube channel brings normalcy to my life, which no longer exists in the U.S. The U.S. has abandoned God and the Bible, and now we're paying the price. God bless you and your family. Yes, and that is another part of the
I
big
just want to
problem.
say thank you because we're not always normal.
No, we're not.
We're not normal.
You just see us on camera.
No.
No, we do try to be normal.
We try to be normal, but what is normal?
That's a good point too. I think normal is the Bible.
Yes.
The path that God has chosen for us, that is normal. And then the farther we stray from that, the less normal it is. Some of it is in the eye of the beholder, though. But I do think that is also part of the problem. So we talk about a split in North America where the one side can't recognize the other. And so, I was saying half the country likes it the way it is going bad, the other half doesn't. The half that doesn't, not all of those are Christian. They're just traditional people. And so there they also don't agree. I, as a Christian, can clearly see that the reason Canada's falling apart is because it's wandered away from God and has no desire for God. And even among Christian people, many people that call themselves Christian have no desire to actually follow Christ or follow God. And that's ultimately what a Christian is a follower of Christ. So we should be asking ourselves, what does God want? And I find most people aren't interested in that. Even people who go to church, they do what they want, not what God wants. And there's a big difference there. And so, how can we possibly fix a country where the half of the people that agree with us don't actually agree with us either? They would like some changes implemented, but not all of them. And so we're so fractionalized; it's hard to implement any kind of positive change. There's too much infighting going on in between the different groups, I think. So again, I'm happy to be here. Is Russia Christian? No, as a whole, I wouldn't say Russia is a super like Christian country, but it is a very traditional country, and people hold very similar moral values, regardless of their faith.
Maybe they might not, but I would say that they see what is right and wrong still.
I think that's the moral values.
Yeah, but like I
They have a
think
general senses of what's right and what's not right.
yeah, but like I would still say though, it's like the more we get to know the language and stuff, like there's still a lot of like things going on that we maybe didn't know before.
That's true. Yes.
But
I'm just saying what I see.
yeah, but like
I could be wrong.
I think there's a lot more people that know that, you know, if you steal, that's wrong. If you, you know, you do certain things, that's wrong. And they have more of a conscience here.
Yes.
is what I
And that
feel
sounds like common sense, but I'm not kidding when I've seen so much shoplifting in Canada where
like.
you're in the store
Even
and
I seen it when I was there with Wes.
you literally see people grab stuff and stuff it in their coat and walk
Yeah.
out the door. I've seen people walk out with a massive table saw coming out of a Home Depot, not paying for it. Like I've
Yeah.
seen and I don't see any of that
so
here.
so many empty containers throughout the store. I've seen somebody drinking something and
Oh, and
she
then just leave
literally
it there.
and just left it on the shelf. And I'm like, you didn't even
No conscience,
you didn't
no
even
no
pay for
care.
that. That's not yours, right? Like
Yep. Now here, I do believe though the Russian Orthodox Church has done great things. They do work with government and they are pushing for a lot of changes. Probably other Christian groups are as well, but they are definitely prominent in this country and very visible. And they push for a lot of pro changes, pro family, pro children, good positive changes that I can totally support. There is no try. $10 super chat. Thank you. Have your son tested for Lyme disease. The doctors think I've had it for decades. My first symptoms were knee pain. Have had 7 knee surgeries unnecessarily on 3 different antibiotics. Really? Well, his scans actually do show damage to the back of his kneecap. There's literally, a spot that shouldn't be there, and there's damage there, and that is what's causing
I don't
pain.
know. That's what the one doctor said, that it looked like it
doctors.
was an old injury. Now this recent one said that he thinks it's just a genetic growth, almost like it's almost like there's a spur on that spot.
Usually. We don't know if he ever got bit, though. Not that we know of.
No, but I don't know. Yeah, it would be curious to know.
Could be. You could test for it for sure. Somebody says they're contemplating the big move for almost 2 years. Well, I can't tell anybody what to do. Honestly, I thought the West would have crashed a long time ago, but I do believe there is a sense of urgency because the whole Western system is a house of cards. It is based on a fake currency that everybody thinks is real. This dollar printing has gone way out of hand. That's why there's so much debt. And now they're weaponizing the dollar against other economies via sanctions. It's a literal matter of time before the faith in the US dollar completely crashes. And with it goes entire Western economies because all Western economies are based on the dollar, right? It's part of the empire. And I think a lot of people don't realize that it's literally a living empire today. Yes, every country has its own name, but they are extremely tied together. I would encourage people to, think about it. If you're ready to ride out the Great Depression, this will be way worse than the Great Depression. But if you're willing to ride that out and you're in a situation that you can, great. If you're not, you should be considering moving.
But saying that, it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not easy here either. No, it is complicated. Immigration's complicated. There's a lot of things that we can't figure out, but depending on where you're at in life,
living here is
not
good.
too bad.
Living is not complicated. It's the paperwork. It's so
and for us, what we're trying to do is setting up a farm. If we had moved here as a retired couple and living in Nizhny Novgorod, there would be no issues.
Yeah,
this is pretty simple. If we came here as a couple and wanted to get an IT job or something, and we got a job in the city, again, we come here with a couple of kids, we live in an apartment, and we go to work, not a problem.
Yeah, other than the language, but yeah.
Yeah, but then that's the only thing. We have the language and plus.
Yeah, but just paperwork in general, registration, all those different things. It's just really, really. I just find you got to brace yourself if you want. It's not going to be easy, but you have to keep telling yourself it's better than the alternative, right?
Yeah. And if you're faced with a lot of debt where you are now, then I also think it's a better alternative because whatever you got there will buy more here. All right, go back down here. Hello, family, farmers, Arend and Anneesa. Today you were shown on the YouTube channel We and They, Maria Shahova. You watched? Yes, we did. And another question is, how do you treat buckwheat heat? I do not understand the question. I did watch the documentary. Yes, it did very good. Jam, I'm also planning on making the big move, probably November, December. I wish you success with that.
Mm-hmm.
Canada Duck, Russia's economy relies heavily on oil and gas.
Mm.
Yes, it does, but there's nothing wrong with that. And not only that, there's also many other parts of the economy that are growing. Admittedly, yes, a big part of it is still oil and gas, but they are also exporting many other things, and they are continuing to grow in those things. So there are more companies here that are growing and hoping to export. It takes time, but you got to start somewhere. Having access to all that oil and gas and having government policy that doesn't um, cater to this nonsense climate change theories is good because they can keep pumping oil and gas, which helps the industries here. You get a lot of these European businesses that are really struggling now because of high energy costs due to climate change or the thoughts of climate change and sanctions, right? But they're phasing out a lot of very viable, cheap energy sources in favor of not cheap, and in my opinion, not viable energy sources, and which drives the cost up like crazy and makes it much harder to do manufacturing, which then also makes it harder to do export. So, yeah, nothing wrong with them relying on oil and gas, but there's lots of cheap energy here. If you want to come here and set up a business, your cost of production should be significantly lower. Alex, debt spending of U.S. government is out of control. Only a matter of time. Yep. Anna Marie, joint issues also clear up with the carnivore diet. Sugar and seed oil are terrible for inflammation. This is true, but you have to eat the fat and the grizzle, lots of bone broth. Well, yes,
Yes.
we have done a lot of that. Anneesa was touching on that earlier with the sauerkrauts and things like that as well. But we used to eat a lot of bone broths because again, we don't have our own. So once our chickens are fat enough and we start eating, we'll be eating a lot more of that again too.
Yeah, we used to have every day. We used to have a glass of bone broth. Everybody, yeah,
we'll get there.
I look forward to it. I know when we were living like that, that was the healthiest that we were, and we felt amazing.
All right, Alex says here. So there you go. I didn't know that, but the Russian budget revenue is 13% on oil and gas. So there you go. Now, these are some numbers that I'm not aware of. I was assuming Alex knows what he's talking about. I don't necessarily know. You can find a lot of this information out, but if that's true and it's only 13% oil and gas, and that's not majority, that's actually a very small part. But having access to the oil and gas, I think of that with Canada. Canada's economy should be booming. It should be doing amazing. It's sitting on a huge pile of oil and gas, underutilized due to red tape mostly, and these carbon policies, basically, which is really squishing the oil and gas industry. What are you pointing at? This one?
Mm-hmm.
BGN. I forget what that is, but it's 10 something. Get that cow. Moo.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much to each and every one of you. The cow's bullseye should say 5. I've been counting. Oh, is that the goal thing that you set up there?
Yeah, it should say 5. I've noticed that too. It's not doing it.
I had brunch at Kettle's yesterday. That's a great restaurant.
I'm jealous.
Countryside Acres, in comparison to Canada and the US, does Russia have the same amount of bioengineered food on the shelves? I don't think so. But again, a Russian would have more. I believe the food here is much more natural.
Well, they have a lot of garbage.
Yes, but GMOs are banned.
It's not, well, I don't know. The imports, I've heard that before. So they ban it here, but then they're still importing from other countries.
Okay, banned growing it.
And producing seeds here, but they might be.
Some of those companies are tricky, right? Because they relabel things as something slightly different.
Right. So like even like everybody says about the watermelons, right? But the reason they don't like the watermelons because they come in from another country.
That'd be sprayed, but again, I don't
sprays and dyes.
I don't think that's engineered food though. Like GMO would be, right? It's modified, made in a lab, basically.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I know they bring in a lot of food still, and who knows what that is. You can't say that it's not genetically modified.
It's a great question.
Right. And even like the foods in the store, I find they have a lot of processed foods coming now. I feel like they're very limited to the selection of foods in their store. That's what I feel.
Yeah, Canada carries on here talking about Canada offers 1.7 2.4% GDP growth, 2% inflation, and high living standards. I don't know what part of the country you're living in, but those metrics don't make any sense. Most people do not have a good living standard. There's a lot of people struggling. People can't afford to buy a home. If you're a baby boomer, you've got tons of money. You're doing great. If you're somebody that is fresh out of university trying to get ahead, you are having a very hard time. Universal health care is not all that it's cracked up to be. We pay for health care in Canada that is horrible, massive long wait times. I've seen a lot of numbers coming out lately where it's actually cheaper in the States. And people don't believe that because in Canada it's free, but it's not free. You pay through the nose on taxes. You will pay far less taxes in the States, and you can get a really good health care package for a cheaper amount of money. It'll still cost you, right? But it will cost you a lot less than what you're paying for in taxes in Canada.
This says that's just Google, I guess.
Those numbers might be right, but I mean the standard of living doesn't mean that's great.
Yeah.
The cost of food is insane, and a lot of people are having a hard time. And things like that don't lie. So if you can go to the food banks websites, you can see all these different stats out there. The amount of people that are now on food stamps, the amount of people that are now waiting in lineup for handouts from the food banks, the amount of people that now need their kids fed by the state at school. They need to have a lunch program or a breakfast program at school. Those numbers are all climbing, not going down. They're all going up. The jobless rates are high. The houseless rates, homeless rates are going up. Soup kitchens, needs for them are going up. Drug abuse and addictions going up. These are not good numbers. So, yes, some people are living great in Canada. If I went back, I could live really good in Canada.
It said food bank usage in Canada has reached a record levels. Over 2 million visited in 2000. This is in 2024. 6% increase compared to 2023 and 90% compared to 2019.
There you go, a 90% increase compared to 2019.
Wowzers.
A significant portion of these visits, 1/3 of them, are by children, and 18% of clients are employed. 18% of the people in the food bank lineup have a job.
Great.
The primary drivers for this surge are the rising cost of living, particularly food and housing inflation. So the government can spit out funny numbers and make it sound like everything's great, but the reality is that it's not great. Unless you're living in some kind of closed-in bubble, it's not great because you see it on the street. When I was a kid, you didn't see anybody living in a tent unless they were camping. But now you can drive down streets of any city in Canada and you see homeless people living in tents. Right? That's not normal. That shouldn't be like that. I see a lot of people begging, holding up a sign. Some of them are scammers. A lot of them are in desperate need. Right? Drug addiction. I never used to see people stumbling around in Canada. You didn't see needles laying all over the place. These are things that are now very visible. Nobody can convince me that Canada's heading in a good direction. Moringa helps with all inflammation. Such a wonderful herb. You know that one?
Pardon?
Moringa. I don't know what that is. It's some kind of a herb, helps with inflammation. Maybe it even grows here. You were just discussing herbs with somebody this week. Moringa. Moringa. There you go. I will move on. Get smart. It depends where you shop and what you look for, but as a rule of thumb, it's less than in the West, in my experience. Probably talking about the GMOs and stuff, yes. Do they mix corn ethanol with gasoline? Not that I'm aware of, no. I just had that conversation with somebody. Oh, it's with the kids, because the price of grain has significantly gone up in the last 50 years. And one of the reasons is, of course, because they make ethanol now.
It doesn't look like it grows
here. No, eh? So you might be able to buy it as a herb, though, but it looks like it grows in the southern climates, yeah. Where was I? From the point of view of the Orthodox Church, the Western Church has deviated from original Christianity, which is why in the 16th century in Russia, the saying appeared, Moscow is the third Rome, and there will never be a fourth. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know enough to comment, I guess. Canada, Canadians who can afford it come to the US for healthcare. Your inflation is still increasing, unemployment is high, and you don't have free speech or free press. Those are all very true as well.
Mm.
There is no free press. That is something that is also very alarming, and it's something that politicians love to say about Russia. There's no freedom of the press in Russia, which isn't true. I know for a fact, because I've talked to some people who are in some positions of power who have articles written that are negative, and there's nothing they can do about that because there is freedom of press here.
Mm.
And that also happens in Canada. That's freedom of press. But I do know that there's events that uh, conservative media is not allowed to go to. They're not invited to, and they're actually banned from going to some sources of media. And that is not free press. When you can ban somebody from going and you only handpick the ones that can go, and then they print the story that you want, and it's also paid for by taxpayer dollars, these media sites, it's not free press. I didn't know it was going to be so political tonight.
Mm.
Get smart depends on what you mean by modification. For example, 2 years ago, I gave my mother a test tube grown potato for breeding and food. What would be the point of a test tube grown potato? Like you trying something special with that? Like, I'm not saying everything grown in a lab is bad. A lab can offer you a controlled environment that you may not have outside. So if you're trying to test a specific thing, of course, uh, God's the only one that knows the weather. So it can really vary. If you're in a lab, you can obviously have a much more controlled setting and you could change just the food or just the temperature or just the amount of rainfall and test things out better.
One thing I have noticed here, coming back to that again though, is I do notice that there's a lot of not heirloom seeds. Like, so they have
varieties. Yeah.
they have more like hybrids, so that you can't like regrow them. That's just what I've noticed. Maybe there's a spot that I can find
Well,
them.
most Canadian seeds are that way too, but then you found a few places where you
Yeah,
can buy
but I
heirloom
found
varieties.
here that it's like, okay, the F, yeah, it's the scale of F1 to F5, and I feel like every one is F1, which is hybrid, or
Okay, there may be a hybrid place or heirloom place though.
maybe
It's
I
possible.
never found it. So if anybody can find it, that'd be great. Send me a link because I'd love to look for more organic or natural heirloom type seeds.
Yeah. Excuse me. No serious person in North America thinks Canada has a good economy. Canadians immigrate to the U.S. rather than the other way around. This is also true. Now, some of that immigration is also climate related because people don't like the cold. Um, Mind you, a lot of the states gets cold too.
I think it's funny because you stick to the politics, and I go right back to the
To
gardening
the
and the
plants.
organic. Like here's another one. It says, do you like have
Oh, I would
organic
read that one.
farming in Russia, right? And in the grocery store, do you have labeled food that says organic, right? It is getting here. It's more natural. They call it natural foods. They don't call it organic. I don't like. There is some that say organic, but I don't think that's as popular as it was.
It is also a price thing, I think.
Yeah, but I think it's coming. Like, I
Yes.
think people are becoming aware of where their food's coming from and they're not liking it and they're starting that perception. I think it's at the very beginning stages, like in the 90s. At the end of the 90s, we were in the same.
People started thinking
They
more
started
about where the
thinking of
food came
healthy
from.
food, where the food comes from. And I feel like that's where they're at. It's like the 90s here. They're just starting to think about their food. So it's not really,
When we say 90s here for the Russians, we're talking about 90s in Canada.
yeah, not 90s.
90s in Canada, Russia was a great place.
No, 90s. Oh, the 90s in Canada was great. Yes.
Yes.
So not the 90s in Russia. We're talking about the 90s in Canada. We started, it was like organic foods, natural foods. It was like this whole movement shift of looking where our food comes from, whether we like, that type of thing. We're here, I feel like that just at that starting point.
Artville watched the episode We and They, and it was very good. Thank you very much. Oleg, in Russia, people in the countryside don't like hybrids or GMOs. They prefer natural vegetables. Natural vegetables are healthier, but they don't keep for long. Hybrids are only grown for sale in stores. So where do they get the seeds then?
Yeah.
Unless they're
So
keeping all their own. That could
that's
be.
what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the hybrids, like the seeds are hybrids. I don't like hybrid seeds because what happens is they're obviously not able to breed, or like they don't grow after. You can't keep the seeds. They never grow again. Um, you might get
Or
one.
don't grow very good.
Yeah, so like you might, like with broccoli as an example, if I put a hybrid seed in the ground this year, it would grow a nice big plant. That's fine. And then I would try to keep seeds from that plant. I could maybe grow a plant, and then I'd end up with this really weird mutated broccoli, and I'd never be able to grow another broccoli after that. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, so we should probably get going here tonight. How many chickens do you have left? I don't know. Lots. Lots of chickens. And do we eat chicken meat? Yes. Yeah, we do. Beef would be my favorite, beef and pork, but or especially pork sausage. I love pork sausage. We'll be making some soon. I look forward to that. I got to find casings yet. I don't like using synthetic casings. I like using real intestine. And so in Canada, I can go to the butcher. I can even go to the grocery store. Any place that makes sausage, and you can buy casings from them. And they're basically just cleaned out intestines, and then we pack them full. And I would think that should be available here too, but I don't know where to get it. So if somebody can tell me, that would be great. I don't want synthetic. I don't want fake. I don't want plastic. A lot of the sausages that I buy here in the store, there's plastic on them, and you got to cut that off first. I don't want that. I want real casings, real intestines, cleaned, ready to go for sausage. Suncatcher, some are very optimistic. If you buy F1 seeds, and these are already hybrids, but these are not hybrids like in Monsanto. Ah, yes, because that's not
Monsanto's would be
that's
like
genetically
modified.
modified. Yeah. But by hybrids, they're selectively picked, and then you buy those seeds, you grow them, they grow great this year. But then if you keep seeds from those for next year, they tend not to grow very well or not grow at all.
Yeah, they're yeah.
Teresa, I hate talking politics, but when I hear nonsense, I have to speak up. Yeah, I like talking politics, depending on who I'm talking to. I do enjoy it a little bit, but I think it's an important subject. I think too many of us have been quiet too long. I think that's been a problem in Canada as well. Christians turn the other cheek, and we try to be peaceful, not ruffle any feathers. And I think we've done that for too long. And look at the mess the country's in now. Had Christians spoke up more 4 years ago, not 4 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, Canada wouldn't be in the mess that it is today. It was founded by people that went to church, read their Bible, and knew their Bible verses. And now, I mean, it's just an awful mess. And so I do think that we do. It's important to talk politics. Not to argue politics, but to talk about it, to educate, to say, look, this is what's happening. This is the true metrics, because media and government they lie about numbers all the time, right? And so people don't know. I think it's same as farming. I think it's important to bring up the subjects. Where does the food come from? All of this stuff is important to have conversation, to have dialogue, and keep it open. Talk about important stuff, not the soap opera that you saw yesterday or some tabloid magazine article. That's useless. But real things that affect every day, every one of us, is important. Hypothyroidism is closely related to iodine deficiency.
Yes.
50 milligrams a day will eventually restore function.
But we get lots of iodine in our salts. It's in all salts.
Here as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here as well. Because, obviously people years ago had iodine deficiency. So I don't think that it's iodine deficiency. If anything, my thyroid issue was like before, when I had hyperthyroidism. I actually think I had too much iodine in my system. I stopped taking iodine salts, and my thyroid issue went away. So I don't know. I will get my thyroid checked out.
Not a bad idea, yeah.
But I think there's other things going on. I don't think it's
that comment came with a $5 super chat from my channel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Not my channel. That sounds funny. From the person's named my channel. Thank you very much.
All right, we should probably call it a night because we still have to do our Boosty.
Oh, we're gonna do that tonight yet? Well, that's a great one. We should have a conversation on that someone. About pigs. That's a great question. I'm not going to touch it tonight because it'll take too long, but it is a good one. Yes, you're absolutely right. I live in Siberia. We have natural nurseries. Some traits. Pixie, Russian, and non-active practicing Christian. I don't think anyone in Russia really has any food restrictions in that respect. Not that I've noticed personally, at least. So. All right, it's been a great live. Thank you guys for joining us. If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, please do so on the way out. It helps our algorithms. Lots of comments, lots of great conversation we've had here. But give us lots of comments, give us lots of thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Help us get over the $200,000, $2,000 subscriber hurdle that we cannot cross. So it's been yeah, it's late. I'm getting tired. So it's been a great time though, and we really appreciate you guys all coming to say hello. So God bless you. Have a great week, and we will catch you guys later.
Bye.